Hello and welcome to Last Stand Gamers Zombie Survival Guide. This is episode 12 of a 13-part series addressing everything from basic survival tips to the advanced features of the Arma 2 game engine. And in this episode, I'll be covering vehicles. I know that you want a vehicle, and so do I, and that's the problem. So many people want cars in DayZ, there's simply just not enough to go around. So if you want a car, you don't have to really think about it, and hopefully by the end of this guide I'm going to educate you on how to get that car and protect it and keep it safe. There's no point of getting a car if you're going to lose it in the next 24 hours. So let's get started with the helicopter. There's normally only one helicopter per server, and this is in good reason, because the helicopter is one of the best vehicles in the game. You can use it for transport, you can use it for simple drop-off, insurgents, extractions, and basically it's the most valuable piece of equipment in the game, but you're going to need a group to operate it. The next thing I recommend, if you're a bit of a smaller group, then I want to look for a car. Obviously there's an older state car, that's one of the fastest cars in the game, but it's really limited off-road, so you really want to think about what you're doing before you collect that vehicle. Let's have a look here. Basically, I'm using a technique called stalking. This is basically when you track the car. I could track this for 20 to 30 minutes. It's all about patience. If I decide to shoot at the wrong time, he's going to get away, and I'm probably not going to see him for another hour or two, depending on which way he goes. But basically, I tracked this guy for 20 minutes, and I started to work out what he was doing. He was actually transferring loot from the airfield back and forth. But moving on, let's talk about roads. Before you ambush, you need to know what the roads do. Let's get started. This is a main road. The main road allows a car to go to its maximum speed. Second, we have these beige colour roads. They're half speed to maximum speed. And here we have the white roads. The white roads will slow a car down considerably and are perfect for ambush situations. So pay attention to that when you're looking on the map. Here are some of the areas that people tend to store the campsites, tend to store the cars, normally in the corner of the maps or in heavily shrubed areas. So you want to keep your eyes out in these places, and these are the areas you want to go camping, well, camp hunting for. So just take 20 minutes, search these areas at the beginning of the game, and you might even find a car, you might find a whole campsite, or basically you might find what I found here was a helicopter, a UAZ and a few tents. The only problem here was I didn't have my group with me, so I couldn't really claim the helicopter, but we came here the next day and that footage you saw from the beginning was that very helicopter. So guys, you just really got to be really cautious with these things as well. When you take a new vehicle, you want to really think about where you're going to hide it, where you're going to place it, where players will avoid it. Let's move on to ambush techniques, okay? Obviously sometimes you don't have to take a car by force. You can stalk it all day, then players might not get out of it. Here's a simple ambush that I created a few days ago. I made one or two of these around the map, and basically it works on these cars tend to travel at extreme speeds around this map, and you can see this is one of them beige roads I was talking about. He can reach his max speed, and what I've done, just over the lip of the hill, I've put 3 tank tracks, and basically what this player's done is just drove full speed over this, and he's hit the tank tracks, busted his wheels, and I think he's dead. So basically what I'll do is get some wheels out my backpack and just fix this car up, and I've got a whole car. Hopefully he doesn't ram it too hard, or we might have a few situations. But here we go. This is a basic ambush. Sometimes you really can't go without shooting people in this game. Then players would have heard me drive off in their little car behind them, so I had to take care of them. Obviously the AKM is not the most accurate weapon in the world, but just the pure panic has got these guys running for it, and it's going to allow me to pick them off at a bit of a further range. So guys, pay attention. Keep your guard up and wait for the right moment. You're off by a few minutes or a few seconds even, it can be completely in their favour. Sometimes things are too good to be true. If something looks out of place, it usually is, and that's why you need to be really cautious. Sometimes it's just the game's stupid spawn system, but in other cases it's just a pure ambush made to other players to steal your loot. I was lucky here, this looked like an ambush, but I managed to get out of there before anything happened to me. So let's move on a bit. When you really want to move around this map, you want to make sure that you don't pick up hackers' vehicles. As you can see here, that's a white UAZ that's in UN colours. So the first thing I was going to do is I was going to start stalking it, but then I actually realised that that was a hacked vehicle. Hacked vehicles are not going to get you anywhere. Basically they'll disappear after the 24-hour restart. Normal cars will last a week, so remember to save them before the end of the week or they'll revert to the original spawn point. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video, and make sure you subscribe, and I hope I'll see you next time.